Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go!
I deleted all of my prep before the show today.
Oh, that's good.
It's great. I love it. But
well, then you might not know that today's show is sponsored by a particular ball shaving company.
Manscaped! 20% off when you use the promo code DANGLE. Or, in Italian, it's pronounced Dangile.
It's true.
Dangile.
It's true.
Yeah, so 20% off. You get the Performance Package 4.0. Get it for you. Get it for the person in your life who needs to be cleaned up. Remember, it comes with the boxer shorts. It comes with deodorizer. It comes with, the thing that actually trims. The trimmer. Skin-safe technology. The 4000K LED light to light those balls up while you're shaving them.
You know what they say in Italy?
What do they say?
Forza, your balls.
Do they?
No.
Okay. All right. Forza your balls. I like that.
Manscaped.com, promo code DANGLE.
Forza. Oh, Dangle.
Dangle.
Okay. Cool. All right. Hey, happy birthday to Andrew Berkshire, who's been doing an amazing job on Game Over International. I think he's got like one more to go with Omar this weekend.
He's got Saturday, Omar, and then Sunday, closing ceremonies. It's Omar, Andrew, Liz Knox, and Sean Fitzgerald.
Hey!
4-person panel for the closing ceremony. Is going to wrap up the Olympics, do a whole wrap-up show. It's must watch on Sunday morning.
It's a hot stove. It's hot. Don't put your hand on it.
No.
Hot.
No.
Sorry. Remember the satellite hot stove on Hockey Night in Canada? It would be like Ron with Al Strachan, the stick in the mud, and then it'd be like two other nice people, but Al would be like, I'm upset about everything. He's literally.
What would he be like?
He's literally the Toronto Sun's Emperor Palpatine. Just misery.
I am the senator.
Yeah. The senators are culling. Anyway,
so watch that on Sunday. If you can't catch it live, it's always on our YouTube channel or on the Game Over International feed on your favorite podcast app.
Game over. Fucking right. That's actually the cell line. That's how Andrew starts every show.
Oh.
He says game over, fucking right.
No, he says game over, they lost.
I mean, no.
They did last night, though. They did last night.
All he does is talk about wins. Marty St. Louis getting his first win with the Montreal Canadiens.
That's right.
And Canada's women's team winning gold over the United States.
Which was pretty sweet.
Oh, of course.
This is pretty sweet.
Yeah. They, I feel like a lot of years, you can't tell who the clear favorite is. It was Canada. I'm sorry, it was Canada.
Wow.
Like over the States. Or I feel like the last few have been like Canada sort of underdogging it, where they've lost a bunch to the United States, but not in the Olympics.
No.
Which is hilarious.
No. And Marie-Philippe Poulin, this is a crazy stat. In the last like 4 gold medal games, she's had 7 of 10 Canadian goals.
That's so dumb.
She's so ridiculous.
She has 4 straight golden goals. It's stupid.
So I was wondering about that. She actually has all 4 golden
game-winning goals for Canada every time they've won. Yeah, 4 straight.
I was at the one in 2010 where she had both of Canada's goals. The only
that
2.
Was it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all. Just not bad. She's okay.
It's crazy because she's young enough that she's going to get to the next Olympics. You know, we're not even running out of MPP time, and we've been like a decade of MPP just destroying the U.S.
You know, we like to make like good click-worthy clips for our channel.
You're doing it for the clips.
Yeah, this is a good topic. Marie-Philippe Poulin, good?
That's what we should put. You know what we should do? We should put that as a question mark and then just have a bunch of people who haven't watched the clip share it and go, these fucking guys.
These assholes.
They don't know anything. They're stupid.
I'm going to quote retweet you into oblivion.
That happened to, sorry, what, Jesse?
No, go ahead.
Well, that happened to CJ yesterday. So
if we're moving off the Olympics, I just want to say we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Sarah Nurse as well. Her and MVP broke the record for most points in a tournament. They broke Haley Wickenheiser's record.
And 18 points is so stupid.
This tweet from Black Girl Hockey Club. Love that folks are talking about Sarah Nurse and her record-breaking scoring. For context, there's never been another black woman on any Olympic ice hockey team ever. She's the first to win gold and first and only black woman to ever play at that level, which is something I didn't know, which is incredible. Shout out Sarah Nurse. Black History Month making records.
Pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
Pretty darn cool.
Wow.
Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, what do you even say? It was a great performance. And I think I think what's so cool is just like the joy afterwards. But my favorite thing, there's two things. Did you guys see the warm up drill that they did before?
Yes.
Did you see it, Jesse?
No.
Oh, we should play
Show
this.
me.
Okay. So hold on, let me find it. You guys stretch because I gotta find this clip. I should have had this in my prep, but I deleted it.
You gotta be careful. If you show Olympic footage, like FBI agents.
This one's on Twitter, so it's public record. So Jesse, I'm gonna text this to you. This is amazing. This is so fun. Like this team had fun. They had camaraderie. And I thought that Marie-Philippe Poulin and Hilary Knight, who are friends, hugging after the game was pretty cool too.
Yeah, I like that there can be a rivalry that exists between the programs, and also they don't completely hate each other. I wonder.
I'm sure they hate each other on the ice, though. I mean, I would. Wouldn't you?
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, but they used to there were like supposedly there were some close calls in the parking lot.
Are you watching it?
Yeah, they're doing a dance routine.
We can play it on the screen, by the way.
It's playing right now.
Okay, can we play it with some sound? Can we play with sound?
Sure.
Okay, you need to just like this team rules.
To it?
Okay, well, we're definitely going to
no sound.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a song.
You're right. Music.
So if you're watching,
that's edited out.
Yeah. Okay. So it's one of the funnest videos because they're just having a good time, and that's before the game. That wasn't after.
Yeah.
Just their warm up.
All I saw around this is Canada by 100. Like they're about to win gold.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Can I tell you guys about the stream on Friday that we did pregame?
Yes.
Because
I watched a little bit. Yeah.
Thursday, right?
I was watching. Yeah, Thursday night. Sorry. Wednesday night actually, because Thursday into the morning.
Let's name another day of the week.
So
I'm confused as well.
The game that we streamed on Twitch, it went. Canada scores the first 2 goals.
So hold on. Let's get back for context here. You streamed what game on Twitch?
On Twitch Wednesday night, we did a simulation of Canada versus USA in the finals. So it was a gold medal match in the World Championship mode that they have in the game. We set the rosters 1-to-1. So it was the exact rosters from the semifinals, except because the game didn't have the replacement for Brianna Decker at first line center in the US, we let Decker play in the game, in our simulation.
So the States were even better in the game than they were in real life.
It's kind of even because they have a new number 1 center and Decker's out. So and the game didn't have that. So but Decker's probably their best player. Anyway, so we did the sim with the exact rosters. Everything goes. It goes 2-0, exact same as the real life game. The U.S. scored the next goal, so it was 2-1 in the simulation. But in the real life game, it goes 3-0 Canada.
Right.
But we both got to 3-1. In the third period, both our simulation and the real life game. USA made it 3-2 in the simulation and in the real life game. And the only difference between our sim and real life was that the USA tied it up to make it 3-3 and our sim went to overtime.
It always goes to overtime, by the way.
It does. It does. So I was like, if USA ties this game and makes it 3-3, the sims are 1-1 and it's incredible. Shout out EA for doing that. But in the sim, Canada ended up winning it in overtime 4-3. In real life, it was 3-2 Canada.
Wow.
So it was pretty close.
Did you just give EA a positive shout out?
Yeah, but they also...
Because NHL 22 people are like, stupid EA. Like, the simulations have been pretty good.
The sims are great, but I'm taking away all the credit I gave to them for the simulation result because they didn't program helmets onto any of the female goaltenders.
What? They're playing...
The sentence I just said is just factual information from the new NHL game with the female roster.
No, they didn't.
If you play a game with a female goaltender, they don't have a helmet by default.
Is that them going for something cool, or they just didn't know how to program?
It's just a glitch that exists in the game, and the whole time we're simming the games, neither of the goaltenders had helmets.
Cyberpunk NHL 22. It's crazy.
Can you believe that? They pushed this update with the new female rosters, and they forgot to program in helmets for the goaltender. So if you go watch the sim, you can watch it back on YouTube. None of the goalies have helmets.
It's
so dumb.
I'm just going to throw it out there that the top EASHL team, because you can change your team's name, for months and months was this game is $125.
Hey, Jesse, can you bring up that? They've been partying too. Can you bring up that last picture?
Sure.
This is
As they should.
I just like the beer cans here that they've put together. Can you see it? Can we put it up on the? Or are we? Do we have, I don't
not
even know
there yet.
I don't know when things are up on the screen, so I'm just going on there. But they're partying. They're having a good time in isolation, as everybody has to do. I do feel bad for every Olympian right now, even though they're at the Olympic Games and that's super cool. You know, this kind of sucks, right?
It's not the same.
No, it's not the same. Also, like, didn't they, like, they don't have to go into any sort of special protocols after the games, right? They just kind of go back to their rooms and party?
I have no idea.
That's a good question.
I have no idea. I stopped reading all those things because my brain was like, we've run out of storage for that, Steve.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, the file cabinet is full.
Yeah. It's like, hey, do you want to buy more iCloud? And I never want to buy more iCloud.
No, who wants to buy more iCloud?
Yeah, no, not me. And that's my brain for that stuff.
I don't need more of my shitty pictures.
Yeah. No.
Uploaded to a cloud.
No, I'm good.
Roses are red. Violets are blue. Don't let those wild pubes wreck things for you this Valentine's Day. Remember, our sponsors at Manscaped, show sponsors, title sponsors, may I add, because we love them, they're here with the best tools. We got to get your balls ready for the special occasion. Whether it's Valentine's Day where you're listening to this or after Valentine's Day, you still got to be careful. So this Valentine's Day, join over 4 million men worldwide who use and trust Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming. And our exclusive offer, by the way, go to manscaped.com and use the promo code DANGLE, because it's Manscaped and it's your balls, 20% off plus free shipping. We've told you about the Performance Package 4.0 all the time. How about what we talk about with the packages? You know, we talked about the trimmer. We talked about the ball deodorant. Let's talk about this, the Weed Whacker. It's for your nose and ear to whack away all the worst of those weeds. I have to tell you, my girlfriend said to me this weekend, she's like, I had to do my nose hair, and she was polite enough to mention that I needed to do my nose hair, so I did it. And she's like, you could also hit your ears. And I was like, oh my God, I'm 33 years old. How is that even possible? But it's true. And she said, listen, it happens. So why not take advantage of the Performance Package 4.0? Get yourself the Weed Whacker, and they throw in 2 free gifts. The travel bag itself, which is amazing. You can keep all your Manscaped gear in the travel bag, and the anti-chafing boxer briefs to keep the boys stored comfortably. And if you got big legs and a big butt like me, it avoids the chafing. It's a beautiful thing. So again, go to manscaped.com and use the Steve Dangle Podcast promo code. What's the promo code? It's DANGLE, because it's your balls. Let's keep them clean down there. 20% off and free shipping. Enjoy at manscaped.com. Is there something preventing you from achieving your goals? Is there something that interferes with your happiness? You should feel your best, but for some reason something's hanging over your head. You might want to check out betterhelp.com/STP. BetterHelp will assess you and your needs and match you with a professional therapist that will work with them. You can connect in a safe, private online environment. It's so convenient. You start communicating in less than 48 hours. It's not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It is just professional counseling done securely. You can message your counselor anytime. You get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, you can plan your weekly schedule to be video or phone, all without having to sit in uncomfortable waiting rooms. And BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free to change counselors if you need. Because listen, you're not going to connect with every counselor that you have. It's more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is available. It is for clients worldwide, and it's everything from depression, stress, and anxiety to self-esteem, grief, sexuality, family conflicts. So many things are offered, so many things are covered, and we want you to live a smarter, happier life. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting betterhelp.com/STP. Join over 1 million people who have already taken charge of their mental health. Again, it's BetterHelp, better, BetterHelp.com/STP. You've got one device that lets you catch the game live, another that lets you stream your favorite shows, and you're watching sports highlights on your phone, and you've got your neighbor's best friend's login for the good stuff. Well, I want to tell you something. It's about a simple way you can get all the entertainment you love without the hassle, and a great way to finally get your TV together. It's called DirecTV Stream, and it brings you live TV and on-demand favorites together like never before, so you can watch your favorite sports, movies, and shows all in one place, and that means no more juggling remotes and no need to buy another device ever again. And the best part, there is no annual contract. So get rid of the clutter and the confusion and get your TV together with DirecTV Stream. You can also learn more at directtv.com. That's directtv.com. Compatible device required. Content varies by package. So let's talk about the Leafs. Let's talk about the Leafs last night.
Hooray!
There are 4 players that I think we need to highlight.
For who?
The Toronto Maple Leafs. I don't even think there was another team that played last night.
That's it.
Must have hurt Brian Burke. Just going to say.
And his hair.
Are we going to talk about that intermission interview?
He didn't seem okay.
Was he upset?
Did you see it?
No, I didn't. Actually.
Oh, it looked like somebody might have been holding a gun to his head below the table.
Oh.
You know? He looked disheveled.
I mean, he always looks a little disheveled.
Yeah, I saw him in the box. I was like,
But he didn't.
A little sweaty.
He didn't. He didn't look his normal Berkey self. Right?
Stared into the camera really intensely.
He does like that though.
Yeah,
that's signature. So that's normal. If he wasn't doing that, I would think something was off.
The first person I want to shout out is Jack Campbell. Quiet game, steady game. First period was a bit of a gong show, but after that he seemed to settle out, and it was nice to see him get back on his thing because he struggled a little bit.
Jesse pulled up a picture.
It's wild. It's a wild picture.
Okay, you know how Cujo has the dog
We gotta
mask?
get your haircut, Brian. Come on.
No, we need Tristan Jarry needs a Brian Burke hair mask.
Yeah, he probably does.
At the top. Imagine that'd be awesome, and he could even have some out to the side. Yes, Jack Campbell. So
yeah,
it's funny. Goaltending is about you could have a great game, and if you have a garbage final 5 minutes, you had a bad game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you could have a garbage first 5 minutes, and it doesn't matter what you do for the rest of the game.
It's like being a pitcher.
Yeah.
Right? Same thing.
Kinda. Jack Campbell did his best work in the first half of the game, but was busier in the second half of the game. His first half of the game was more valuable.
Why do you say that?
He made better saves. He made bigger saves. That ridiculous where he was out of the net and then had to spin and make a save with his toe. That was a big moment on Pittsburgh's second shot of the game. He robbed Jake Gensel. He robbed Brian Rust. He made a really good save on a crafty move by Kasperi Kapanen. All those moments, especially the Gensel one, were ones where the Penguins could have gotten a foothold in the game. They were never really able to do that.
And that's because Evan Rodriguez is not on their top line anymore. When he was, they dominated the Leafs.
That's it. That's it. And now he's lost and purposeless.
100%. And by the way, am I the only one who forgot that Brian Boyle is still playing NHL hockey?
Man, he had such an impact with the Leafs.
He was great.
Even my wife saw him and was like, "Man, it's Brian Boyle."
I like it. I'm just saying that was 5 years ago, and we thought he might have been on his outs then.
She saw Andre Kashim and was just like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "Really? You don't know him yet?" No, I don't, Steven. Anyway, sorry, that was a mini conversation.
I'm starting to subscribe to the Jack Campbell theory that it wasn't that he was struggling, it was that he wasn't playing enough games because of COVID. Like the 8-game stretch that everybody keeps referencing. Oh, Jack Campbell's just absolutely garbage during these 8 games.
It was so spread out.
Even though they won a couple of those, and the win-loss wasn't bad. It was the save percentage. But if you go back to the 8-game stretch, it starts in December 7th, and it ends about January 26th. There's a period in there where he plays 10 games. Over a month? How is he supposed to get into any type of rhythm? And now that the season's back, it's rolling again, Jack Campbell's probably just going to pick it up. It was just a natural kind of lull because he wasn't playing games because nobody was playing games if you're a Canadian team.
Yeah, I mean, 8 games in that stretch is a month.
Yeah, I mean, he does have to get some rest in there, but that's unusual. That's unnatural. And
Mrazek's grabbing a couple of those starts. But yeah, it's good to see him back on. And his press conference last night, you could see when you've got Happy Jack and then Sad Jack.
Yeah. Well, and I think he feeds off of the building.
Totally.
As well.
It was nice to see some people in there.
That was pretty cool.
I like that. There was noise. People were clapping.
It was nice to have an atmosphere.
Yeah.
Sorry?
50%. Yeah. 50%.
And I said this in the video. All 4 goals the Leafs scored were freaking sick. There was no grease, no garbage, no banging it in. All of them were sick. A Matthews breakaway, which I sort of realized never happens because why would you leave Matthews alone?
He had 2 of them.
Yeah. You silly goose. Like, why would you allow that to happen?
Why would you be a silly goose?
Why would you be a silly goose? Morgan Rielly scores maybe the sexiest goal of his entire career.
Yeah.
Going end to end. Jack Campbell getting an assist on that. Very funny.
Second career.
Assist?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm sorry. That's very funny. And then who were the other 2 goals? David Kampf just...
I was informed David Kampf couldn't score.
Man, but he can't. That's the crazy thing.
He can't, though.
He can't.
Leave your own house.
I'm just saying.
Get out of your own house.
I've been waiting for that one.
How dare you?
Get to my favorite goal.
Kampf, amazing goal. And then Matthews, disgusting backhand sauce to Michael frickin' Bunting after a Mitch Marner block.
Yes, and then
Mitch Marner, man.
That play comes off of when he had one hand on his stick and he knocked down the puck. He just swings at it with 2 hands. He knocks it out of midair.
A little bit of fuck you.
That was my favorite moment of the whole night.
In Marner's game.
He was mad when that puck went off him at the blue line. You know when you hit your hand or something, or you stub your toe and you go, motherfucker, and the only person you're mad at is yourself? It's like, and I don't think he was mad at himself. He's just mad that it hurts. And he's like, I'm going to fucking score now.
Oh, yeah. There are times where you like hurt yourself or you discover like, I don't know, bad news or something. And fuck comes out of your mouth like it's from your ancestors. Like, it's like just.
I like that.
Yeah. Your entire bloodline, your whole DNA makeup just goes, fuck.
And that's what it was.
It's like hearing it from another person's ears.
His pass to Matthews was perfect. Like after that block, he breaks the zone. He's able to break that zone, and that pass up to Matthews was perfect. And of course, the Matthews pass to Bunting, and then the Bunting little toe drag around thing. Beautiful, beautiful.
I thought Jari had a good game.
Oh yeah, he did.
I thought he had a really good game. Yeah. But holy shit, how do you stop any of those?
I want to have a quick debate, and I'm gonna get lit up in the comments because I'm gonna come across as a Toronto homer. Which on this one.
I like the jerseys.
I think I'm a homer.
Oh, that's.
I know I'm a homer, but I also want to say objectively, I think this is true.
Oh boy.
I think in the NHL right now, Auston Matthews is the best player.
Okay.
I think this week, especially in the last couple of weeks,
in this very specific
moment
in
at
time.
This moment, he's the best player. Now, does that mean he's the most skilled player? I'm not saying that. I think Connor McDavid has the most skill in the NHL. But I think if you look at, and the advanced stats are going to back me up on this one, so you can bitch and whine and complain. But Connor McDavid scores most of his goals how?
Off the rush.
Have you seen him score a goal from the hash marks sniping it?
Yes. Yeah, but not as often.
Not as often, right?
Yeah.
He relies
I know what you mean.
He relies on the rush all the time. It works for him because he's devastatingly fast.
By far, the fastest player with the puck in the NHL and the nastiest hands.
Insane hands
in the NHL.
So I don't want. So every time you have a conversation like this, people lose their minds because they think you're insulting the other player. The reality is Connor McDavid to me is the most skilled player in the NHL. However, I don't think his game is as rounded as Matthews. Matthews plays better defense. He's better in the corners. He's better takeaways in the neutral zone, and he can score like 6 different ways. We saw it on the breakaway, which we never see Auston Matthews get a breakaway, ever.
Never.
He has 2 or 3 different wrist shots that are absolutely insane. Sneaky, scary, stuff that goalies stop all the time that they cannot touch for some reason. And I think for right now, for my money, Auston Matthews is the best player in the NHL. I think it's Auston. I think it's Connor. And I think you put, it's a dead heat between Nathan McKinnon and Leon Draisaitl after that.
Yeah, Dry had a big night.
And I think, by the way, if this keeps up, if this month that we've seen, or this few weeks that we've seen, if we were to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it in 18 months, you'd have a lot more people on board. Because Connor McDavid has been the best player in the NHL for like 4 years, since he took the mantle from Sydney. But I'm saying if this keeps up, and if Matthews continues to diversify his game, I think Auston Matthews has a clear shot in a year or two for having most people go, you know what, maybe he is the best player in the game. And let me say it one more thing. Goals matter more than assists. I don't know how many times I need to say this. Goals matter more. Whoever scores the most goals, to me, is the better player.
So, Draisaitl has the most goals in the entire league.
Yeah.
Is Draisaitl the best Oiler?
No, because I don't think he is.
Oh, come on.
You think Draisaitl's the best
Adam,
Oiler?
off the top of your head, who has the most goals in the league?
Draisaitl.
Who has the most points in the league?
I don't know.
Leon Draisaitl.
Okay.
I don't think
he's the best player in the league. I
think right now, because the case you're making is that right now Auston Matthews is the best player in the league.
He's the best player
based on how he's playing. Well, there's a guy playing better than him.
I don't know
it's
that.
So
no,
interesting.
No, that's not true. That's not true. You're saying he's scoring more. That is different than playing better.
No, like Leon Draisaitl, you're underrating his defensive prowess right now.
I think he's okay.
He's a well-rounded player.
No, he looks better than Connor McDavid, who's atrocious on defense.
It's such an interesting conversation because you can't have a conversation about who is the best player in the league without having who is the best Oiler.
Yes.
And there's at times there are debate. And I think what's frustrating with McDavid is there shouldn't be. I think there's who's the most skilled player and
McDavid.
And who can do the most things?
Matthews.
I think Matthews can do more things, and I think Draisaitl can maybe do more things.
Well, and I'll say this, and I'm not trying to insult Draisaitl, by the way.
Things. Does that make sense?
People are going to get mad. I'm not trying to insult Leon Draisaitl, anyone. Jesus. But I think that
is another name for him, yes.
When it comes to what Matthews can do, everything for the face-off, his defensive prowess, and the leadership that he shows. And everybody's saying now that Leon Draisaitl is the de facto captain of the Oilers, which we have glossed over for a few weeks now, but there are writers out there saying it now.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to take your word for that.
Yeah, because how would I know?
Yeah, they're a little bit more plugged into the
But
Oilers.
I think when you're talking about best player in the league, to me, it's Auston Matthews. And I think if you have, I understand, people are going to come back at me with McDavid. They're going to come back at me with Draisaitl. He has scored more goals. He has scored more points. But who else is going to score on the Oilers? The Leafs actually have other players that are going to score. Like it's like how even comes down to look at the goals per game in the last 3 seasons. Auston Matthews is something like 0.8 or 0.9% ahead of Alexander Ovechkin in goals per game.
Isn't that goofy?
It's an insane stat.
Where are you at with Nathan McKinnon in this conversation?
I think he's fourth.
Oh man, there's a real interesting top 5.
Is the discussion about right now or the last couple seasons? Which one?
I think right now.
Okay. So then we got to take out the goals per game last couple seasons out of the equation.
So this is
okay. Fair.
This is where it's important because if we have this exact conversation in October, we would laugh at ourselves. We would fist fight ourselves if we could time.
Yeah, it'd be like stupid.
Yeah, it's the conversation is McDavid and Draisaitl and no one else. Shut up. But
maybe McKinnon.
I feel like the Avalanche struggled out of the gate.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's right.
No, David Draisaitl. That's it.
Sorry, it feels like 14 years ago.
I know, but from what I vaguely remember, they were scoring at 180 goal.
That was
180 point pace.
Crazy
for long enough that we were like, "Is this just how things are?"
Mm-hmm.
Then, but for my money, over the last where are we at month?
Sure.
45 days.
There's a 2-week break for some teams in the last couple of weeks. So.
Right. Yeah. The Florida Panthers.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 2 weeks.
Kings haven't played in a year. Sharks.
That's right. The Kings have not played in February.
Over the last stretch, I'm not sure there's been a player better than Auston Matthews.
I don't think so either.
I'm taking the guy who's beating him in all the stats categories.
Yeah, Leon Draisaitl.
So, I don't know.
So is McDavid
I don't know. That seems like a
3?
pretty stupid take. I'm kidding.
Probably. Right?
Wow.
It's a complicated debate,
Well, and remember though, Draisaitl built up a nice little cushion.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So is he riding that a little bit?
Also, 2 goals
in this debate.
There's a
Matthews tied Leon Draisaitl while playing. He tied the league lead in goals.
And then
Leon Draisaitl at 7:30 Pacific time goes in there and scores 2 more goals to take the lead back.
Leon's played 4 more games. That does matter.
Sure.
Over the course of the season, that does matter.
Sure. Over the course of the season, but I feel like we're just talking about the past.
Right now, yeah.
And if we are, I think Matthews is the best player in the league.
And let me throw out there another wild one that people are going to get fucking crazy about. Patrick Laine.
Man.
10 goals in 7 games.
Yeah,
Patrick Laine is one of the top 5 players in the league right now.
Yeah,
right now.
He's a difficult one to quantify because he's so streaky.
Yes.
But he can do this. Like, he's ridiculous.
He's insane.
Remember he had like a bad 35-goal season?
Yeah. Winnipeg's like, boy, what a disappointment.
But he was. Like, he legitimately was.
Because I think he scored, wasn't it? He scored most of it in the first 30 games or something like that, and then scored 5 goals the rest of the way or something.
He has the ability to be Goku Super Saiyan 3 and also be Krillin.
If we are having the debate, if you're just throwing out people who are the hottest as the best player in the league right now, my vote over everybody that we've named, over Draisaitl, McDavid, Laine, whatever you want to say. The best player in the league right now is Jakob Markstrom.
Oh,
how dare you say anybody else? But besides the guy,
disgusting.
His win streak right now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins in a row for him individually. Let me give you the save percentages over those wins. It is 929, 905, 958, 1,000. That's a shutout. 929, 870. But 3 goals. Doesn't matter. 1,000. That's a shutout. And there you go. That's his winning streak. That's the best player in the league.
We do need to put some respect on his name.
We do.
But I think Rangers fans are going to be mad that you didn't say Shesterkin.
Nah, Markstrom. The team's been winning more than the Rangers, so you got to give the nod to Calgary.
I thought, by the way, am I the only one that was fooled? I thought the Chiarot trade was done to New York yesterday.
What? I didn't see that at
Okay,
all.
maybe I saw something on Twitter and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I went back to my life. And I thought, oh, I guess Chiarot's not coming to Toronto. And so
I got a random DM from just a random person that said, Chiarot to New York, market, it's happening.
I got that same DM.
Did you get the same DM?
Yes, I did.
And like, I'm going to, if it happens.
I think I'm going to have to give this person some props.
Inside sources.
Yeah.
Why do trolls like coordinate now?
Well, I mean, like,
all
why
right,
do you?
We're going to send this to these specific people, and here's how we're going to.
Yeah.
How many media people did that go to?
Well,
spread it out.
There's 2 teams that he'll go to, Toronto or New York, it looks like at this point, right? So it's not a hard prediction to make.
But they gave some details.
They did. Well, so let me pull it up because I think I've got. Yeah, I'll pull it up.
Is this our transition into Chiarot?
Yeah.
Sure.
There's so much to get to. I don't even think we're gonna get to it all. But
way to delete your prep, dick.
I know. It's so frustrating. Hang on.
I mean, do we start with CJ?
Well, okay, so I do want to talk about a couple of things before we get into this. I cannot find this DM. Jesse, maybe you can in yours. The other thing I want to say quickly, explain 2 things. Adam Brooks, why was he waived again, even though most of us know? Adam Brooks, waived by Vegas, claimed by Toronto, waived again by Toronto. Liljegren sent down. What happened?
Yeah, okay, so it's a shame we're not going to get an answer on this until this show is up. Whatever, it is what it is. So Adam Brooks was claimed. Mm-hmm. The Leafs... So I don't know how this is allowed. I'd like to ask Alan Walsh. Adam Brooks makes less than league minimum. He makes $725. So I'm fairly certain for as long as he's on the roster, the Leafs actually get a cap benefit, which is ridiculous. So I think the thinking was, okay, so we'll get him. And worst case scenario, we get a day's worth of money taken off. Probably negligible, but it's something.
Right.
But he passed through waivers far enough that he got to the Leafs.
Which is crazy because it's about near the bottom, right?
Yeah, so they're throwing him on waivers, thinking he'll clear because Vegas is getting rid of him because of cap implications, right? Because they need to make it work because Jack Eichel has come off LTIR.
Yep.
So their thinking is, all right, he'll clear. We'll be able to put him on the Marlies, and we can call him up when we want. Vegas's special exemption here is if they claim him back from the Leafs, he automatically gets to go to the minors. Whereas if someone else claims him, he'll have to go through waivers again.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a lot going on. Earl Schwartz, I always talk about him, and he still only got 3,000 followers. It's really stupid. Whenever cap shenanigans happen, I go straight to his account. It's just Earl Schwartz, the way Schwartz is spelled, like Jaden, 27. Knows all about the CBA and all that.
The Schwartz is with him.
Schwartz and also the Leafs have signed prospect Dmitry Ovchinnikov.
That's right, and his contract was resolved this morning. Apparently, since he, according to Byron Bader, his production has evolved since 2020, a year or 2 in the AHL, and he could be a player. So that's kind of neat, right?
It is kind of neat. There's some weird stuff going on in Europe, by the way.
Is there?
Yeah.
Hadn't heard about that.
Do we have the time?
What region?
You want this
Sorry,
DM?
that's not what I meant. But yes.
Do you want this DM?
Please.
So if you DM Adam and I on Instagram, I guess, it is open season. We may read it on the show.
Yeah.
Calling it right now, this person says, Chiarot is going to New York for Kravtsov.
Makes sense.
Not 1-for-1, but both involved.
So I heard Lehkonen. So the tweet
makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I heard that the tweet that I read was like Lehkonen was involved, and then there was somebody else, and I was like, this is bizarre. But I mean, listen. So CJ got
radioed.
Got radioed. Explain why. Like, listen, I don't think this is a big deal, but I know, journalists, Fried, CJ, they take it seriously because they don't want to be misquoted, right? Mm-hmm. So what happened?
Basically, they'll have a long, nuanced conversation about something,
mm-hmm.
and a tweet's worth of a quote will get put out into the world. That catches on actual fire and spreads to the entire world, and the network that actually aired the quote, SDPN Sports,
mm-hmm.
Gets no credit or anything.
Of course.
That's how it works. But I don't have a problem with it as long as you give proper credit
mm-hmm.
and also link to the thing. Because if you link to the thing, you get the full nuance of the conversation.
Right.
Because
Chris says he hates Ben Chiarot personally and hopes that he doesn't get traded.
And also your favorite team.
Wow, which team is that?
Just your favorite team.
Oh, Chris hates your favorite team?
Are you listening? Hates your favorite team.
Yeah, it's
also,
true.
The person who spread the quote didn't neither of those things.
Well, but most of the time that doesn't happen.
That was their goal.
Most of the time that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I was more upset with TCJS. That's what
the Chris
hashtag CJ show. To CJ show. I hate that. Boo. Tomato. That's awful.
That's funny.
No, anyway, so he did literally say the Leafs are in on Ben Chiarot, but he didn't make it sound like a done deal.
He said there was he named 5 teams.
Okay, Frank Saravalli today reporting that Calgary is out. He said, I don't think they can afford the acquisition cost. I didn't even know Calgary was in on him.
Calgary tried to get Chiarot in the Toffoli deal. It was supposed to be both of them.
Right, and they split them up.
They couldn't do both because it didn't work cap-wise, so that's not...
No, well, from what I heard, Montreal could make more if they packaged them separately.
Yeah.
They did pretty well in the Toffoli deal.
They did.
And Calgary couldn't pay that price.
Cap space is going to be real big.
But let me finish this. Finish this. Don't think I think Calgary is out now. I don't think they can afford the acquisition cost, and I don't think he's number 1, 2, or 3 on Toronto's list.
Ooh.
So Dave Anthony tweeted that at me. Thank you, Dave. Mm-hmm. Deep breath.
There you go. I'm not criticizing anyone who tweeted it out, by the way.
Yeah, you are. Steve Dangle hates you.
For future reference,
quote this
just
from
Yes,
that's our hashtag.
So there's another name out there that Leaf fans are freaking out about
Please.
a little bit. Brandon Hagel, with the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yes,
who is allegedly worth a first and a prospect. Now here's the problem: you shouldn't be like, "Who the hell is this person?" when they are worth a first and a prospect. Mm-hmm. So he's currently on roughly a 50-point pace with the Chicago Blackhawks. He's 23 years old, and he signed $1.5 million this season and the next 2.
So that's why he's worth that.
That's why he's worth that.
Why would Chicago want to trade him?
That's kind of what I wondered. So he fits into the Jacob Chikrin category of why you could just keep him. Why not just keep him?
Yeah. And what kind of a defenseman is he?
He's not a defenseman. So that's another thing. He's a left winger who I suppose they could.
The Leafs don't need a left winger.
It would make sense to add him if they did other stuff, but they would have to do the other stuff first.
Kerfoot?
So
that's what it sounds like.
Or Richie.
I don't know.
Maybe Chicago wants a more hard edge game.
Adam, I so hope that's true. I don't think it is.
Guys,
so
Auston Matthews, best player in the league.
Yeah.
I don't know about the Leafs bringing a forward.
No. Okay.
It's odd.
Hot take, though. I would rather Dubas make a move like that than a pure buy, which is just, we get a mercenary for the rest of this season.
That's fair.
And then he's gone.
I'm with you. Pay more for that. Because you could have paid that first and fourth for a guy who would have lasted longer than Foligno at the same skill set.
Yeah. But if I can be Babcock about it, just like how he was grumpy that Jake Muzzin didn't play the right side, let me be grumpy that that's not a defenseman, Kyle.
Yep.
I want a right defenseman who is apparently Rasmus Sandin.
If I'm Sheldon Keefe, I'm like, that's not what I need. Thank you for not helping me, Kyle.
I mean, they've clearly addressed it as a problem. They've put Dermott there, they've put Hull there, they've put Liljegren there, and now they've put Sandin there. They've identified the problem. They're trying to fix it internally. They're probably going to discover they can't. And, I mean, still best case scenario, you got Riley Brody, Muzzin Sandin because it worked, and then you should still probably upgrade your third pair.
Yes.
Is the idea that Liljegren is better to be in the AHL because he can play games as opposed to in the press box? Like,
He's purely cap reasons.
Oh, okay.
He's done with the AHL. He's better in the NHL.
Like,
we're done there.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's bring up the Leafs' third jersey for just a second here, if we can. Jesse, did I send you a link to that, or?
I can bring it up.
Heritage Classic.
I just want to quickly ask you guys your opinion on this jersey. We won't spend too much time because we need to get to Derek Ryan shading Dave Tippett. It's really good.
Oh, are we doing that right now?
Well, first
Sorry,
off,
I thought you were setting up a clip.
No. We're not setting. Jesse does have that clip, but we're not getting to that. We need to talk about the third jersey.
Oh, the jersey.
Yeah,
So everybody's very excited about this. I want to know what your thoughts were.
I can't explain why I like it. I just do.
You like it.
And I like it. I know a lot of people don't. The blue on blue is weird. I will give you that. But there's just something about it that the simplicity speaks to me. I like the dark blue. It doesn't wow me or anything. I just like it.
Are you going to buy it?
No, because my birthday is the day before the Heritage Classic.
Oh, so you'll be getting it for your birthday.
Absolutely.
Now, Jesse, I brought up, I tweeted last night that I think the Leafs keep missing an opportunity with their jersey. And if you could, the tweet is in your text. Did you? It's in your text messages.
Tweet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
your idea was cool.
I think and people were like on me about white versus blue, like just invert them. But the whole point I wanted to make is that I think the Toronto Maple Leaf fans want one jersey right now as a Heritage Classic jersey or as a third jersey regularly. And that is and people call this the Ballard era jersey. I don't call it the Ballard era jersey. We don't need to remember Harold Ballard. He did nothing good.
He was there.
He's not
for
a good person.
Quarter century.
He was, but I don't think we should call now he changed the jersey to this, but I think, and I got a picture of Doug Gilmour in it, if you take the current crest and you put it over the 70s, 80s jersey, and people were like, well, Buffalo's wearing white, so it couldn't be white. Okay, so it's blue with white shoulders. I don't care. It really doesn't matter.
Do that.
That's the jersey that we want.
The Sabres jersey's nice.
That's what we want. Yeah, so Sabres jersey is nice, but this is the jersey we want. Leaf fans want this jersey. The crest sucked. I think we can all admit that. The crest in the 70s and 80s was the worst crest, which we kept for another 20 years after that for no reason at all.
Man.
And
I can't believe I had that hanging in my room.
And somebody said to me, hey, I don't want to remember the Ballard era. Like, I don't like Harold Ballard. Yeah, but you did like Wendell Clark, Boreas Salming, Lanny McDonald, Rick Vaive, Vinny Damphus. There was really Mike Palmatier. There were great players. Jacques Plante. There were great players that played for this team during that time. Let's remember the players, not the shitty management.
It's the Leafs, guys. What era would you like to remember?
The 60s or the late 2000s.
Come on.
Or the late 1900s where they made the Stanley Cup, almost made the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, come on. Other than changing the jersey to like red or something, it's going to be associated with probably something bad.
But why won't they do this? Why can't you just? I know you keep going back to the arenas concept. It's fine. It's fine. TJ texted me last night. He's like, it's mid. It's a mid jersey. It's mid. It's a forgettable jersey.
Maybe they're thinking enough people have Leafs jerseys. This is different, right? Mm-hmm. They have after a while, it's not very few people buy every jersey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want a jersey that's different.
People like us.
Yeah, but you want a jersey that's actually different from the other ones that you have. Because people would be more likely to buy it. I'll diversify my closet. I think that's sort of what this is.
I was disappointed because I wanted to buy a Leafs jersey, and I thought this new one might have been something I was going to invest in.
Okay. So
I think I might go to Real Sports and actually buy the old school ones because they have the quote-unquote Ballard era jerseys or the Sittler era jerseys there. I might get one of those.
Just get a custom-made one. How hard would that be to pull off? Just get one of those jerseys and just slap the new logo in the middle of it.
I think there's some copyright laws against
I don't think there's any problem.
Why? He owns them.
Yeah, I don't think there's a problem with that. I just do think that once they put the stitching in, it's difficult to get it out, right?
My wife owns a Cricket. Is she going to jail? Like, I don't know. You're allowed to make your own clothing.
Sure.
It'd be very punk rock hockey of me to make my own clothing.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool.
I think it needs to happen. And I think,
Don't
Jesse, if you want to buy a jersey,
that'd be illegal.
You know what's gorgeous is the St. Pat's jersey. I have a Matthews one, and it's stunning.
It's a good one.
Yeah, but it's there. They have it.
Yeah.
My favorite jersey is the Winter Classic, the all-white ones. The II captain.
You love
jerseys.
those ones,
That's my favorite jersey.
I thought the white gloves were cool, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's bullshit." I'm with
that's
you.
my favorite Leafs jersey of the 20th century. It's unbelievable.
I've warmed up to it, but I still associate it with that shitty, very shitty game. And also,
that has nothing to do with the jersey.
I cannot be trusted to wear white.
Okay.
I will get mustard on it.
Okay, but the jersey itself, it looks incredible.
It's fine.
I'll stand by that forever.
It's fine.
Leafs forever.
I associate that jersey with you two fine gentlemen in our trip to Boston.
That was great.
I associate it with friendship.
Jesse, can you bring up the Derek Ryan clip? The Edmonton Oilers are 4-0 under new coach Jay Woodcroft, who came from the Wheat Kings? No. What's the AHL team?
They're Bakersfield.
Bakersfield. And what's interesting is that all the players that played under Jay Woodcroft that were struggling under Tip are now playing really, really well.
There's a lot of Sheldon Keefe vibes, eh?
100%.
Yeah.
And the more, it makes you wonder why they hired Tippett in the first place. But listen to what, I'm serious. Listen to what Derek Ryan had to say after the game he scored. He's been playing great.
I don't know what the single thing is. I think we're just working hard, playing together, supporting each other. I think we've been good on the forecheck, getting pucks back. I think that's huge, especially this time of year in this league. It gets hard. You have to score ugly goals, and I think we've done a little bit of that. And it feels nice. Got some confidence going, and that helps as well.
It seems the contributions are coming from throughout the lineup in different ways. Just especially this last little run here. Is there a feeling in there right now of kind of everybody pulling on that rope and having a chance to? And does it feel notable?
I think so. Well, I can speak for myself. I can't speak for the whole group, but I feel like we feel that everyone's getting a chance, an opportunity to provide help. And obviously, we can't rely on Leon and Connor to do everything. We need support for those guys and for everyone in the top six. So I think it's been good for myself to just get some confidence built up, to play more, get more of an opportunity offensively. I think that's helped a lot in my game.
So the offense is coming for you, and the defense seems to be coming for the group and a lot of other guys. As a guy who specializes in that side of the game, what are you noticing about your team and your tendencies defensively here lately?
Yeah, I think we're just so much more detailed than we were earlier in the year. I think everyone's on the same page. We've been working on certain things that we struggled in earlier in the year, track reads, coming back into our defensive zone structure, where guys are supposed to be, making reads off each other. It just felt like earlier in the year guys were kind of panicky, didn't really quite know where to go, but I think it's been a lot more clear and evident lately that that structure coming into our D zone and transitioning through the neutral zone is just so huge. All the teams we played lately, they create so much offense through that transition, and so I think that's been big for us, and the structure and detail is just evident. I
made you wait for that clip. It was at the end, and I should have queued it up better. I'm sorry about that.
You deleted your prep.
But the part where he says details, and then the part where he says we were jumped because we didn't know where to be. That is the sign that a head coach needs to go.
There's a couple things there. We have been talking about how Leon and McDavid can't do everything, which is something he echoed there. But there have been a few times where, I've gotten home from us talking about that, and then I've looked at the Oilers roster and I'm like, really? Like, this team doesn't have depth? What's going on? Fogle, Hyman, Nuge, and I'm looking at even guys like Derek Ryan. I'm like, he doesn't suck.
No,
like that's
NHL
a guy.
Yeah,
and they got some young guys, and Evan Bouchard is really coming along. What's going on? What's happening here? I still think they're a little soft on defense, but what's going on? They're too good to be playing this bad. The other thing is, I like to study the music of speech. Early in the year, got like heavy emphasis from him, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to figure out what the intention was there. Was it a dagger, or was it him trying his hardest to make it not sound like that?
Right.
Saying early in the year instead of saying, well, under the previous coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. During their winter slump, the problem with the Oilers was that they were bad on defense. Like, I think it could just boil down to that. Their offense has always kind of been there because they have the two best offensive talents in the league. and they couldn't stop anything because the goaltending is bad because there's no defense in front of the goaltending. And it was just a matter of getting them not to play such back and forth high event hockey and just play some defense. And then getting a new head coach just seemed to be able to steady the ship and get them to actually stay down in D and play it a little.
So they had that in common with the early year Canucks. What the Oilers, prior to Tippett being fired, also had in common with the early year Canucks is they all looked like they hated their lives.
Yes.
And sometimes, like, it's not even that Tippett's a bad coach. It's sometimes...
Well, it might be.
It might be. But sometimes it's just you're done here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Time just runs out. Because we say this time and time again, and Martin St. Louis in Montreal has proved this point. But coaching at the NHL level isn't coaching. You're not telling these NHL players how to play hockey. They know how to play hockey. It's motivation at the end of the day. You're trying to get them up for these games and making them try hard.
How often does a new coach go in and we go, oh, they've made no difference at all?
Right.
It's rare.
Yeah,
it's
true.
really rare. Yeah. Except for Peter Horacek, who somehow managed to make it worse. But
yeah, that was like. Has he? I hope he's worked in the NHL again. I feel bad.
He has.
For him.
Okay, he has. He's been an
do feel
assistant
bad.
and a scout, I believe.
They lost their head coach, and then they lost JVR for the season, and then Lupul for the season and forever. And like he lost some. He had no chance.
There's sometimes you shouldn't take the job. You know, like I don't know if that was good for him.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was good for his career.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's often they're just extremely talented players who just end up enjoying showing up to the rink a little bit more. They enjoy what's new. Like again, Montreal, we know everything's been a disaster for them this year. Again, what I was saying around the time they fired Ducharme, I look at them on paper, I'm like, well, they shouldn't be
this bad
on pace for like the record in losses, for God's sake. And look, hey, there's a win.
Caulfield's got 4 goals in 4 games. Like, he's back.
That's the one above all else. I don't know how they screwed him up.
Yeah, and now they're fixing it.
What, because Ducharme was not a good coach?
Right.
I don't know how you screw up that kind
From
of skill.
game one. Well, he didn't want to play him. He didn't even play him the first 2 games of the playoffs. Dude, guys, you don't know. I know. I'm telling you. The answer is here. Ducharme was not meant to be a coach in the NHL. Maybe an assistant at best.
The player scored for him in the playoffs. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't.
He's not a good coach.
I'll never understand. And
because he's not a good coach.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Boy, you really don't like him, huh?
He's just not.
Kick your dog?
No, it's just like it was so frustrating to me how many people were like, "Oh no, he's good. You don't know what the hell you're talking about." I'm like, I'm seeing the same game. Yeah. And I saw what Luke Richardson did in the playoffs. Drives me crazy.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, I think if you take a last place team and you fire their head coach and you put Steve Dangle in as coach for a month, I'm sure you will motivate the team well enough
perhaps
to
not
win a
me.
couple games. No, Steve, you go in there, you do LFR's post game live for the team every game after every game.
So I know.
Yeah, you go in there, you yell a bit in your Steve Dangle way. You can get them to win a couple games.
Like
remotivate the squad.
Vancouver Canucks, you bring in Bruce Boudreau, and he goes, "Hey," and you're like, "Ha, love this guy.
I'm gonna go score a goal on person."
Yeah. Hey, you're right, Bruce.
So
I'm gonna be the best version of myself today. Well, I didn't say anything, but yes.
Are we doing the Canucks trading Boeser?
Trading Boeser?
Yeah, because that's
is that the rumor?
Yeah, he's on the block.
I didn't know that.
Well, here, just to put a bow on that, Woodcroft is finally getting an opportunity in the NHL. He's got to be in the best mood ever. And how is that not infectious for a team that's sort of
yeah, agreed. And just like Marty St. Louis getting his first win last night, and I think the quote from oh god, he's the power forward, big power forward Montreal.
Oh, Josh Anderson.
Josh Anderson said it was nice to come in and play some music in the dressing room.
What?
That's what he said after the game.
God's sake.
Like he's like that's how bad it was. It was bad. I do want to go to the Pacific Division since Boeser's the thing. I actually missed that. But I do want to, before we get to Boeser, I want to ask you guys this. Calgary Flames, they are on a tear. Now, some people are calling them the NHL's best team. They're not. But
hottest
right now.
They're the hottest team?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Flames.
But are they the sleeper pick to win the Cup this year?
It's not a crazy pick at all.
Like,
It's
okay,
not
let's
a
say
crazy
it's
pick at
Tampa,
all.
Calgary.
Oh, man.
That's a grind series.
I have
Again.
whoever comes out of the East, I have winning the Stanley Cup, but I could see Calgary being the West representative.
Listen, Calgary's got one mission in that series: win it in 6,
and hope it doesn't have to go to video review.
You don't want that going to 7.
And I'm curious about what Vegas looks like when Eichel gets back.
Yeah,
but
Stone. You mean no? Eichel is back.
Sorry, Eichel's back. Sorry, Stone. Yes, but Calgary's looking awfully good, and Blake Coleman is a Sutter guy for sure. Like smart signing. Toffoli, like come on.
So let's say they go toe to toe. The Flames versus the Golden Knights. The Flames will be a far more, assuming nothing changes and there are no major injuries, they'll be a far more cohesive unit than the Vegas Golden Knights, who are perhaps more talented on paper.
Yeah.
But like Stone is literally coming off of back surgery. Pacioretty has been amazing, except he's been injured a lot. Eichel is coming off of neck surgery. Like, it's starting to feel like, as good as the Vegas Golden Knights are, a lot of things have to go right for them. And then you start looking through the Pacific and you go, who is going to beat the Flames?
Who's going to outgrind the Flames?
Nobody.
Not in the Pacific.
You're a team that's battled injuries all year, and you're going up against that for 4 to 7.
Although,
what a terrible time.
If the playoffs started today, they'd be playing the Nashville Predators. And
Adam thinks the Nashville Predators are barely a hockey team.
I think they're better now. I think they're better than they were the last 2 years.
I didn't know.
Shocked.
I didn't know Saros could do this.
I didn't either. He is the team.
He's a pretty good part of the team.
Yeah, but he is the team. Well, just like in Vancouver.
It's allowed.
Vancouver's management said yesterday, I think we're a team with mediocre skating and a franchise goaltender.
It's a good compliment for Demko.
Sure is. So what's the deal with Boeser?
So the rumor is Jim Rutherford and Brock Boeser's agent, because he's a UFA at the end of the year.
Yeah.
He has to sign his big deal. Like, this is the next contract. He's a UFA. He's got to do it. And they aren't close on the number. So Rutherford's looking to move Mr. Brock Boeser. And the rumored team to be in on the deal is the New Jersey Devils, because they want to pair up a scoring winger with Hughes and Hischier. And Boeser is somebody that they can sign long term. So the problem for Rutherford is that he needs to find a team who wants to sign Boeser, because I don't think he's a real, unless somebody's just looking at him for the rental deal. Like, then you can just find the rental. But apparently Boeser's on the move.
Wow.
Zaka was a name that was mentioned with New Jersey, so
that would be an interesting swap.
You'd have to see Boeser.
Man, Boeser had such a run with the Canucks, and then there was a souring there.
He had a back injury, and then I think the souring was him recovering from that, and also the team being bad.
Okay.
And also like COVID and everything, and it's changed everyone's lives.
I think they just don't trust him to age into his contract. Whatever number they're going to give him, I don't think they believe that he's going to live up to it. So they're not willing to pay it.
It's a tough one, because he was the name that got brought up immediately when Bruce Boudreau came in. Hey, you should shoot more. And then he shot more and scored. Hey, good job, kid. But, he's got a little bit of the Patrick Laine to him, in the sense of, remember just before Laine was traded to Columbus, I was like, listen, you either got to sign him long term or just do it. Stop putting your fans through this. It's not as bad with Boeser, but there's a degree of that. There's a degree of, all right, shit or get off the pot here. What are we doing? And deadlines, clarify the mind, as Alan Walsh puts it. Trade deadline's coming up. They have a contract to negotiate. Who knows? By March 21st, he could be signed to a deal, but the Canucks cannot get to that date without one.
Right, yeah. That can also be an option, that they just figure it out and they sign him.
New Jersey's a decent partner, because, like, if you trade him to a contender, you're getting futures, and I don't think the Canucks are a team that necessarily wants that, because then you're committing to at least a partial rebuild. You get him from New Jersey, there's the potential there to trade guys who are roughly the same age.
Because Vancouver's trying to win next year. They don't want draft picks, So, they're looking for a partner like that. And it's interesting that Boeser has this reputation of a scoring winger. Like, he's a goal scorer, but he's never had a 30-goal season.
There was a time when, like, Canucks fans would have told you that he was better than Matthews, and I remember those debates.
He started really well. He was automatic. And injuries, man.
I also want to point out while we're in the Pacific that Calgary's got a really shitty offseason coming. If you're a Flames fan, you're not looking after the season.
Part of the reason you go all in.
Yeah, you have to go all in because Gaudreau is a UFA. And in his prime. He's 28 years old.
He's not going anywhere.
You don't think so?
Mm-hmm.
At the deadline?
Oh, not at the deadline. No. Are they UFA? Yeah.
Off season, yeah, probably.
Matt Tkachuk is an RFA.
Not fun.
And the Tkachuk family, I'm not sure if you know this, but Keith was really tough to negotiate with, and so is Brady, and so will Matt be.
Again.
And he's making $7 million.
A lot of the reason they did the Toffoli deal specifically is because Toffoli is signed. So they have a little backup there if they lose one of these big names that they have coming up.
Crazy.
Speaking of the Canucks. Oh my.
Yeah. Hey, before no, I think we're good. Do you want to go to the press conference?
Sure.
Because I got a really good Black History Month today. If you've got clients, you know that they demand instant responses. But now more than ever, businesses are spread thin. If you're losing your leads from visitors to your website or missing calls that could help grow your business, you could delegate those to Frontline Conversations with the best virtual reception service. It's called Smith AI. Smith AI provides businesses with award-winning virtual receptionists who handle your calls, your chats, your texts, and unlock new business at a fraction of the cost of hiring in-house staff. Smith AI is not your average reception service. Since 2015, they've combined the best receptionists across North America with AI technology for superior business communications and customer engagement. Their friendly and professional agents can screen leads for your custom criteria, schedule appointments on your calendar, and call back leads who complete your form. That's pretty cool. And it can be done by phone 7 days a week and also through your website 24/7 on a live chat service. They even answer texts and Facebook messages. They integrate with your preferred software. You can, if you use Salesforce, HubSpot, Candidly, and thousands more. Don't worry, it all works. Plus, they have English and Spanish-speaking receptionists that will block spam for free, including those annoying sales calls. As a listener to the show, you're going to get $100 off when you sign up using our promo code SDP at smith.ai. Visit smith.ai to read 5-star reviews and be sure to use the code. Again, it's SDP to save $100 at sign up. Don't let another day go by without Smith AI. Our next partner is a pretty cool product. Let's talk about Athletic Greens. If you're looking to get better gut health, more energy, stronger immune system in really easy, natural ways, you got to check out Athletic Greens. I'm sure you'll agree that most of us are not huge fans of having to take a bunch of pills or vitamins in the morning. You remember, like your grandfather with the multiple pills for each day of the week? It's my grandfather anyway. Athletic Greens can help you get rid of those extra vitamin bottles and finally make some room in your cabinet. Athletic Greens is an all-in-one solution that actually tastes good, and you'll enjoy daily vitamins every single day. You got to try Athletic Greens. And if you're a really healthy, conscious person, here's the great thing. Keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free, don't worry. It supports that. It contains less than a gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals or artificial anything, and it still tastes good, and it costs you less than $3 a day. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into flu and cold season. It's just one scoop in water every single day. That's it. No need for millions of different pills and supplements to look out for your health. So to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you 1 year's supply, 1 free year supply of immune-boosting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs along with your purchase. All you have to do is go to athleticgreens.com, and the code is SDP. So it's athleticgreens.com/SDP to take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
What does the name of Lonnie Johnson mean to you?
Lonnie Johnson. I don't know. That's only the second Lonnie I've ever heard of.
It's very close to Long Johnson, and I know that we're no longer in the Manscaped ad, so I don't think it's that.
It's not about that.
What?
Nothing.
That was a.
Don't look at me.
That was a wild path to a dick joke. Like that was a quite.
Was it worth it? Yes.
Well, you tell me.
Yes, it was.
Guys, Lonnie Johnson. Lonnie Johnson is a name you would not know if he hadn't created 2 of the best things about your childhood.
Ooh.
Lonnie Johnson was an engineer for NASA, which I think is pretty cool, right?
Absolutely.
Lonnie Johnson, kind of, he worked for the U.S. Air Force. He joined NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in 1979. Pretty cool, right? What a great job. That alone, if you work for NASA, success.
Yes.
Put it on the resume. I worked for NASA. I can get hired anywhere. I am successful. But Lonnie, I don't know, got a little bored. So he came up with something called the Power Drencher. He was working for the U.S. Air Force at the time. It was around 1990. He's had a long career at this point. And essentially the idea was that you had some water, and then if you just like typical boring engineering, if you put enough air in with the water, you know that it would create a jet stream of water. Right. So he licenses the Power Drencher, takes it to toy shops in 1990. Eventually, he gets his trademark and tweaks the marketing just a little bit. Sells the first models for between $10 and $60, depending on the model. And the Super Soaker took off, and in 1991 alone generated $200 million in sales. And I had two of the original ones, the yellow and green ones.
I had the green and orange one.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, shortly after making the deal with the Laramie Corporation, remember they all said Laramie on them? Remember, the original Super Soakers on the sticker, the Super Soaker 150, baby.
I just remember, don't aim for the eyes.
Yeah, well,
that's a cigarette company, right?
The Laramie Corporation, that's Laramie, I guess.
Oh.
It's a toy company. The Laramie cigarettes, yeah, you might have been right about that.
I don't know.
Now, here's what happened. Shortly after making the deal, the Laramie or Laramie Corporation became a subsidiary of Hasbro, who you would know as toy makers.
Yes.
So Lonnie's got this deal in place with them, and he's got this water gun. And he thinks, well, if you can do it with water, why can't you do it with air? So he's playing around, and in 1996, he patents the first pneumatic launcher for a toy projectile and the like, also known as the Nerf gun.
Oh!
So one man is responsible for the Super Soaker and the Nerf gun and all of the things that came afterwards. One engineer for NASA. One guy. His name's Lonnie Johnson. You should look him up. Interestingly, in February 2013, he filed a suit against Hasbro after he discovered he'd been underpaid for royalties for the Super Soaker and several Nerf line toys. In November 2013, he was awarded $73 million in royalties just in one payment. And according to Hasbro, the Super Soaker has approached sales of $1 billion. Lonnie Johnson, Black History Month. You got to check this guy out.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Pretty cool.
I didn't know the same guy invented both.
I didn't either. Did a little research. Actually, I knew that he had invented the Super Soaker. I had no idea about the Nerf gun. So when I did my research, I was like, you got to get seriously.
That's wow.
He's also a part of a small group of African-American investors whose work accounts for 6% of all U.S. patents, which is pretty cool. Oh. This guy is one of the most impressive people in the United States, absolutely gets no recognition on the level that you should. This is a guy that needs to be in the forefront. This is a guy, I would go to see this man speak. I want to know exactly what he thinks, how he did what he did. Lonnie Johnson, look him up. There is your Black History Month feature for this episode.
I definitely thought you were going to relate it to hockey.
No, not every time. Not every time. Like, sometimes it's just cool, right? Sometimes shit's just cool. Like, people message me about the Harlem Hellfighters, like, I'd never heard of it. It's like,
right.
You know, it's just sometimes it's just cool to find stuff out. New stuff, not hockey stuff.
Gun, the Super Soaker.
Right.
Whatever happened to my Super Soaker? Am I going to buy Leo a Super Soaker?
Yes, you are.
Oh my God.
Of course you are.
Yeah, but now they're ridiculous.
They're sick now.
Like
they look like they're at a Predator.
Yeah, like wear them on your back.
Oh.
Dual wield. Like Master Chief. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
We should have a Super Soaker fight. We should get the most loaded up Super Soakers and Nerf guns and just and shoot a video. And I don't know how you win or lose something, but we should figure that out.
That's the thing with Super Soakers, Adam. We all win.
Do we have one or two questions, Jesse, that we want to get to?
Yeah, we had a question from Guy Fieri on our Discord, not the real Guy Fieri.
Are you sure?
That's just their username. Adam, do you have any thoughts on Jacques Villeneuve qualifying for the Daytona 500 at 50 years old? What the hell is going on?
The Jacques Villeneuve?
Yeah.
So I don't know what team I saw that. And what's amazing about this, Jacques Villeneuve is one of the best drivers in history. I mean, if you win a Formula One championship, that automatically puts you on that pedestal. No one can ever take that away from you. But I think what's cool about this is he sort of fell off, and people kind of hated him for a while. Because when he was at his best, he sort of, he did some stuff first off in Formula One when he left his Williams team to go to BAR Honda or Bar Honda, a team he founded, which just wasn't very good. And then I think people didn't really like him. I think that, sometimes you get to a certain level and maybe you're not the nicest person from time to time.
I do remember something like that. Yeah.
But what's cool with Villeneuve now is that I think all that's sort of gone. It's funny how life has a way of maybe humbling you a little bit. And unfortunately, I think that Villeneuve is ignored in Canada, especially. This is a guy that his father was a Ferrari driver in the 70s. And was going to win a world championship had he not died in a car crash in Formula One, which is extremely dangerous at the time. I think Jacques Villeneuve would have won a championship. He would have won a Formula One drivers championship. So this guy comes in, and I don't care if you want to call it silver spoon or whatever. The drivers didn't make that much money back then, so it's not like he came from an obnoxiously rich family. He comes in and he's got his dad's shadow, and he goes and he wins. And now at 50 years old, here's the thing about driving. Is the hand-eye coordination and the fitness. What do they say with NASCAR drivers? Because, with Formula One, I think you got sometimes you have 60 laps, 70 laps, whatever. With NASCAR, it's 500 laps. Indy 500. And you have to think about the amount of hand-eye coordination you have to have and the accuracy of just even a little bit with the car. That makes all the difference in the world.
Right.
50 years old. The last time he raced, I think, was 50-year-old driver, NASCAR series. His last race was spring 2013, and the fact that he's still in now is incredible. And I guess he kind of did. I guess he did this last minute, and he had to get all the right patches on the car, and he had to kind of get used to it. And I think Jacques Villeneuve deserves to have his history rewritten. When Vince Carter left Toronto, under the circumstances he left under, they weren't good. But we've rehabbed Vince Carter's image because Vince Carter ultimately did way more positive than sort of the shitty last half season that he had where he felt like he quit on the team and demanded a trade. And the Vince Carter thing is worse because we traded Vince Carter and then got nothing for him, right? That's what the stinger about the Vince Carter thing is. With Villeneuve, there's no reason not to celebrate this person. He's one of the greatest athletes this country has ever produced. And he's got an enormous Le Mans, and his resume is enormous. Formula E, by the way, Formula E, something to keep an eye on. It's all electric, and the cars are faster than Formula One. You should watch it. It's great.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's why Formula One doesn't usually share the track with Formula E on weekends, because they have race weekends. Other cars come along, other circuits come along with Formula One and sort of follow them around. F2 being one of them.
Is it quiet?
Formula E. No, it's a little. Let me hear it. Do you want to hear it?
That's a great question.
I know Sasky, our good friend Sasky, is in. So here's the Formula E song.
That's all I'm picturing.
Oh my God! You're kind of right. No, don't play too much.
It's like a vacuum.
Isn't it crazy?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But they do make a sound.
But no, they don't.
Anyway, during a race, you can expect to lose something like...
So funny? They're little Dysons.
Yeah, they're little Roombas just zipping around. During a race, you can expect to lose like 10 to 15 pounds.
Wow.
And so a 50-year-old doing that, it's pretty impressive. Good for Jacques Villeneuve. What?
No, I like the electric cars.
And with that, we must wrap it.
Jesse.
Because I had 3 minutes before I
would like to watch the quiet race with you.
Can we press the button?
No, just close it.
All right, hey, we love you. We'll talk to you soon, and we'll see you Monday. Bye.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.